Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus full moon lunar eclipse for the month of March tarot oracle reading. And Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Pisces, we all have a little bit of Pisces in us somewhere. Where does that show up in your birth chart? If you have it, that would be where this energy shows up for you. Keep in mind, this is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate. Just take what works for you, leave the rest. And also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That may give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, so we're going to start with the underlying energy at the bottom of the deck, and this will be the tarot portion. The tarot portion generally is about 2/3 of the reading. All right, then we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is sitting on his throne, and he is, his element is the sword. And the swords represent your ability to, your mental intelligence, your ability to discipline your mind, and also like your thoughts, basically. And your words, how you express your thoughts, whether that be on paper or in verbally. And so the King of Swords is generally someone who's a professional, who uses his ability to use his thoughts and his words to be able to earn his living. So quite often this will represent someone who is like in the legal field, could be like a judge, a prosecutor, the kind of energy of it's possibly a lawyer. And if it's lawyers, it's somebody from a larger firm that is a partner. This is also the energy, it could be an influencer, someone who speaks for a living, basically. What else can I think of here? It can also represent surgeons. So this energy, it's someone who's well respected. This energy is also talking about the power of words. So the king is very much aware that words can be used as weapons and words can be used as ways to uplift others. And that's the energy here for the underlying energy for the entire reading. Now we're going to take a look at what's the underlying energy for the internal forces. Man, this card has been coming up a lot for the internal forces for this round. It hasn't been a good month for love, I don't think. This is the energy of being very disappointed regarding a situation of love. So we have the cups in the tarot represent love, and quite often romantic love. So they can also represent love of like your children, love of family members, and even something you love to do or be. But first case scenario, generally we think of romance. Now this person is very disappointed in love, apparently. He's sitting under this tree and he looks very disappointed. The universe is trying to give him another cup of love, and he has 3 out in front of him here lined up. And so these represent situations in love that he's been disappointed in. So this could represent 3 cups of love that didn't go according, 3 relationships that didn't go very well. It can also represent that there was a third party involved in what was supposed to be a couple. And this cup can even sometimes represent a child. Someone is pregnant with the child due to that, and which is another scenario. And then we also have, it could represent someone that he has given 3 chances to, and they want a 4th chance, and he's like, no way, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm done. That kind of energy. I'm done with love. I'm going to sit under this tree for the rest of my life and be disappointed. We have, so the energy is coming in. This is the shift disturber. So this is a walking contradiction. Because when you look at this, it seems like there's the thoughts of 2 people here being planted here. And he's sneaking away. And he's sneaking away with these other 5 swords. Now he's on tiptoe. He's looking backwards over his shoulder while moving forwards, not looking where he's going. And look how he's carrying these swords. Like, who carries swords like that? I mean, if he slips and falls, he could cut his hands right off. They're very sharp. Like, what's he thinking? And that's just it. He's not. He's a shift disturber. So he likes to stir the pot. And he, he'll do dangerous shift just to cause, to stir the pot, basically. This also represents, it looks like he's a thief. Like, is he stealing these swords? What's he doing? Sometimes this could represent an innovative thinker that's trying to find a way, maybe to sneak the swords away so that there isn't a big battle in the village. But if that's the case, why does he bother to leave two? And why does he plant them there like that? So that the people in the village think, hey, you did it. No, you did it. And then they get in a big fight and there's swords handily right there for them to, fight with. It's kind of a weird energy all the way around. It's shifty. And this energy also, it's interesting because it came up a couple weeks ago. The words, the 7-year itch came to me. And so this, there's 7 swords here, and sometimes this can represent someone who's been in a relationship for about 7 years. And statistically, there can be a problem after about 7 years. It's about when most people get divorced or start becoming unhappy in the relationship in the 7th year. And statistically, this is proven. It also can be an energy where it's not just limited to love. It could be like a situation, for example, of purchasing a home and then not wanting to live there anymore, and having to sell it and not wanting it, or starting a business and deciding, oh, I don't want to do this anymore after 7 years. So it's that kind of energy. If you're doing any business with this person, particularly now, because we just moved into Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde is starting on it started on the 26th, and we are now in the, it's going to last until the 20th. So yeah, this energy is not the energy you want to be in retrograde. If you sign any contracts with this person, make sure you dot the I's and cross the T's. This is conception. So this is talking about 8 wands being launched. These are the element of fire. And this energy is talking about that you've launched a project of some sort. It's already been conceived. It's already happening. And this energy is talking about this moving forward as we speak. Sometimes this can represent the energy of someone impregnating another person, which kind of came up here as well. We have, this energy here of the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles represents ultimate fulfillment in your ability to have a really, really good lifestyle. So you have, it's raining money, you have the mansion, you live in the neighborhood of your choice, you have a partner that you love to be with, you have 2 beautiful, young, healthy children, you have 2 pets here, and you also have time to stop and visit with the neighbors. So it's not like, you're working so hard that you don't have a chance to enjoy it. We have a passion for new discovery. So this is a gift coming in from the universe to say, hey, here is a gift for you because you've been staying on your path, you've been putting the work in, and here is a gift so that you feel like passionate about your life again, and that there's something new coming in and that you can embrace that new. We have temperance, and so temperance is talking about being devoted to staying on your path. This is the path of glory with the sun here. And then this angel she has her right foot dipped in the water of the universal waters, and her left foot is grounded on earth. She's doing alchemy, pouring her special flavor, her special qualities into the cups, and then mixing it with the universal waters, and then pouring it onto land. And look at the beautiful flowers that are being grown from that. This energy, some people believe this is like the earth angel, and that in the Bible it says there's 144,000 of them that God sent to earth, and they're like angels in human form. So the whole idea is get on this path and move forward. And do what you were meant to do when you were placed on this earth. And then we have being devoted to that path. Okay, we have another ace coming in. The aces are coming in more than usual, I feel, because we just had 2 New Years. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We have the Ace of Pentacles here. So the Ace of Pentacles is, the Pentacles, of course, represent that health, wealth, and happiness. And so you already have 10. So this is like saying, if you stay on this path, you're going to multiply that 100-fold. So we're talking like a lot of money. A lot, but it could also just be, okay, not just the money, but it's your lifestyle. So, you know, everything like that, going easy in your life, being organized. Here we have, okay, this is the position that you feel that you're in right now. Now, if this is your energy, why? Why, Pisces, why? Or is this someone that you feel that has done this to you? Kind of like that kind of energy. So this energy is your self-identity. So either you're identifying with being a day thief, a white-collar crime thief, or you are identifying with being the victim of a thief. And this is your abundance and self-worth that... it's talking about understanding that you have the ability to conceive projects and get them going, and then make sure that they land. This also can talk about having conceived a child, or wanting to conceive a child. Maybe there's an issue with conceiving here, and that's an energy that's coming in. We have communication in early life. So this is talking about being raised in a family where the people were probably involved in the money industry, like bankers, brokers, financial advisors, that kind of energy. And so it's saying that you grew up learning about how money is used and spent, and how time is money, and how to invest it properly, that kind of energy. And lived in an upper middle class neighborhood, more than likely. This is home and family, your emotional foundation. So this is talking about feeling really passionate about your family, like about how you were raised, and maybe you had a really good life and you want your children to also be able to enjoy that. We have creativity, romance, and children. So yes, it's like talking about making the world a better place so that your children and your grandchildren can enjoy the same kind of idyllic lifestyle that you had when you were growing up. This is talking about the reward coming in. So there's a lot of really good energy here. The only thing is this disappointment in love. And we don't have any cups of love out here. So this could represent maybe being in a partnership in a business. It could possibly be something that you really love to do or love to be. And maybe there was some sort of energy here regarding someone that you work with. It's hard to say. Generally, though, this is romance. We will see. Heartbreak. Okay, yeah, so it's romance. There we have it. We have this. This is the internal forces, and this is representing now the external forces. So the internal forces, you can tell it's an internal force because you'll be asking questions like, what if they do this, then what will I do? And what if I do this, what do you think they're going to do? That kind of energy. And you could stay awake, lay awake all night, wondering like, what if, that kind of energy, the woulda, shoulda, couldas. It can keep you in. Oh, excuse me, ever since this card came up, my throat's closing up. So this energy here is talking about having like these 3 swords in the heart, and you can see like my voice is just totally like, as soon as I turn my energy to this. Okay, there we go. So there's 3 swords here, and you can see like at first it's like, oh goodness, how is this person ever going to get over this? But there's 2 swords representing a couple and a 3rd sword here. So that's representing this kind of energy here. And when you look at it, you realize the heart is actually big for the swords. So they're not like large swords. They're more like pins or maybe nails. And so you when you look at it, you think, oh, well, maybe they could recover from this. A person could recover from this. This can be talking about gossip, slander, you know, a lot about some cheating or whatever, the third party energy as well. This can be a heartbreaking decision is being made. Quite often this card will represent divorce if it is like a third party involvement, which then would probably be likely that this is a divorce lawyer. And so that's the external force energy. The external forces are what you know, instead of laying awake at night saying, what if this happens, you're saying, what the EF happened. And this can be like, you know, I was going along and I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, and then all of a sudden all this comes out of the blue. And the external forces, you don't have control over them. You can't control what other people say or do, but you can control whether you react to it or are you going to respond to it. And so that's the underlying energy for the external forces. We have the Six of Pentacles here. So the Six of Pentacles represents being breadcrumbed. This person is handing coins to this person here because they can tell that they actually need it. They have learned some discernment here. This person's not receiving any coins because they have something in their pocket. And they've got he's got the scales of justice over this person. So he's saying, hey, you're just being lazy. Get your ass to work. I'm not giving you my money. This person actually needs it, so I don't mind. And so, and appreciates it also is what's coming up. So this is talking sometimes, because this is being put in your, this is marriage, commitment, and partnerships. This love relationship, it also involved money, because this is talking sometimes about breadcrumbing and not getting what you should have gotten for the money. Like you should have like this huge amount of money like this, and you only have this. And so the question is why, you know, and it's sitting on your partnerships and marriage and commitment. So it's got something to do with this third party involvement. And we have the Page of Swords energy. So the Page of Swords represents, the pages all represent their particular element. The Page of Swords is, the element is of course of thoughts and of you know, your mental intelligence, your discipline of your mind. And he is, they would work for the king and queen generally from about 7 to 14 years old. And then, you know, if they were really good at what they did, then they could be considered to become you know, up for knighthood if when they were 21, as long as they could afford a horse. And so this energy is talking about how, like, out of all the pages, there's 4 of them. This is the only one that doesn't look at his element, and the other 3 are focused totally on the element. He has already placed the question with his thought, or he knows what the thought is, and he's looking away from it because now he wants to use his intuition to bring the answer in. And so that's the kind of energy that this is being here. Like he's thinking outside the box and he's looking for a creative solution to whatever problem this is. Sometimes this can represent a breath of fresh air, that kind of energy. I always think of this, reminds me of someone who's about to take a golf swing. You know, if you're playing golf and you have a really bad hole for the first hole, say, you could throw your whole game, you know, off. Like you could be like, oh, what's the point, you know, and get really angry, throw the club, give up, you know, and have like a miserable day. Or you could get your shift together and discipline your mind, and the very next hole you have a hole in one. That's the kind of energy. So this is talking about some sort of transition coming in because of secrets being revealed. And so the page might have some information coming in, and I feel it's about this shift disturber here. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles. Now we're talking. Now we're talking money. Because if this 9 of Pentacles comes in after the truth comes in, the 9 of Pentacles is actually representing pre-Empress energy. And so the Empresses are all 4 queens rolled into one. So they have all the qualities of all the queens rolled into one person, and also have a real strong knowledge of manifestation and how to deal with time, money, and energy. This card is saying it's very much the energy of the moon coming up right now. There's a full moon tomorrow night, and I'm going to get into that now. I may as well just finish. Just sometimes the way the cards come out, it's just easier to get the reading out, and then I'll talk about the astrological effects. So she's got her hand on the Six of Pentacles because she knows that she needs to have that much to be able to pay her bills, to be able to, you know, invest in her business, make sure she has a bit of a slush fund in case an emergency comes up. There's this energy here of these three pentacles. Like one might be, this one she's willing to invest in more risky projects. This one maybe is she wants to donate to charity, and the other one could be helping out a family member or something like that, having the money tucked away for a rainy day kind of energy. This card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, because Nikola Tesla said if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And basically that's what this falcon represents, is having the foresight to be able to see the big picture as well as the details in a situation. And we have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is saying that there could be a never-ending nightmare, or you might just be like really super bored. This energy, the Nine of Swords, is an energy of, you know, waking up in the middle of the night and saying, what if I do this? What if I do that? Or what the EF? This is in the external forces. So it also, though, could be enlightenment coming in from source energy. And that this energy here is talking about, you know, having a dream or having some sort of like, whoa, I have this fresh idea. And it's on an idea on how to make money or how to get back my money or something like that. And so they're trying to remember what was in the dream, because they were shown consistent steps of action to take to be able to recover what was lost in the dream. Okay, and then we have the moon coming in here, and this is talking about this moon coming up and the one we just had. The moon energy, when we have a new moon or a full moon like we're having tomorrow night, the energy is like very emotional. So this represents coming out of the emotional waters, and this lobster is he's trying to get on the path and make it to his home over just down the road here, which takes a long time for a lobster. And he has to cross through the domestic dog and the wolf. Then they're both howling at the moon, and he's like, whoa, I got to get through there somehow. And then this is talking about the sun, and this is representing when there's eclipses. And then there's the full moon and the new moon. So quite often the sun or the moon represents hidden secrets and illusions. Now it could be that will shed light on this situation here. And the last, the last card is walking away. And so this card's been coming up a lot in these readings as well. And so this is talking about putting eight years, or probably 8 years is what I'm getting, of energy in. As I said, we can only have 10 of Pentacles here. 10 cups. And so this is talking about walking away from a love relationship that maybe you've been in for 8 years. And you know, you can see here that we have 5 cups lined up here, kind of like this, like really clean. And then there's these 3 that could represent the last 3 years, and that there has been involvement with a third party showing up here. Like we have 2 here together like a couple, and then we have a gap and this third party energy. So this is talking about secrets coming out again, like about what has happened, so that you are able to move forward in a strong way. Okay, so the energy of the new moon that we just had on the 17th, that was a new moon in Aquarius. And so the Aquarius energy wants us to prioritize the needs of the group. but it was opposed by the energy of the sun, because the sun was in Leo. So the Leo energy is saying, no, I'm an individual and I have individual needs and I want to express myself as an individual. I will be a leader, but I need to be a really strong leader. I have to look after myself right now. I'm going through some sort of shift here and I need to look after it. And so that energy was back and forth pretty much for the new moon on the 17th. And then we had also on that day, there was the year of the fiery horse energy coming in, and that way for the Chinese New Year. And we came out of the year of the snake. Now I don't see any horses here, so it's not affecting your energy as much as it is other people's at this time. But we also had an eclipse at the same time. So this eclipse is, was in the Aquarius energy, and it kind of hit pretty hard because it was just like this energy of wanting to express yourself, but feeling like you have to look after everybody else first. And then we have coming up, we have on the 26th, the retrograde. So Mercury is going into retrograde, or went into retrograde on the 26th. And it's going to be there for like most of March until the 20th. And then it lingers the energy for a little bit. And so the retrograde energy, when Mercury represents communication, and it rules the Virgo energy. And Virgo, we have a Virgo full moon coming up here right away. So the Virgo full moon is on the 3rd of March, which is tomorrow. And this is a real powerful moon. The Virgo energy wants us to clean up our homes and our domestic situations so that we can be really energetic at work, so that we have the balance between the two and that they support each other. And so that's the energy that we're moving into with this moon coming up. This moon is as I said, in the sign of Virgo. And remember what I said, Virgo is actually ruled by Mercury. And Mercury's in retrograde. And this is a full lunar eclipse, which means that the sun is going to shine some more energy onto the situation so that you have a better grip on what's really going on and what steps to take. So I'm going to, for those of you that feel like, okay, that's good, I've got it. Thank you for being here. Please give it a like and comment if you've enjoyed this reading. I'm now going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings that I painted. There's 64 of them. In the order that they appear in this reading, I'll put in the description box below, so that you can look up the paintings if you want more information about what the Intergalactic Federation of Light is. And these are dragons coming in from the future. What's interesting about this is if you look back to, when I was looking up the eclipse energy, if you look back to the energy of March 3rd, 2007, there was astrological energy that was almost identical to this energy with the eclipses and everything happening. That was in March 3rd, 2007. And this energy, it was really interesting because when I looked into it, what was I doing on March 3rd, 2007? I started this oracle. So I was laughing. I was like, oh, that's pretty wild. The other energy that I noticed, like with all the information coming out about the Epstein files, when I looked into this more, the FBI identified issues maybe with that whole Pizzagate thing. It keeps getting mentioned in the files. Back in 2007 is when they talked about it, about some symbols being out. And I vaguely remember it, but I didn't watch the news a whole lot. And I haven't owned a TV since like years, 20 years at least now. And I don't really remember it that well, but it was in 2007 that was a thing, and now we're seeing that being played out again. There's two other dates that might be significant, or 2 more years, and one of them is 1980. So that may be way before your time, but it could be something that your parents, something happened with your parents when you were a child, or, just before that even, something that was going on in the family dynamic. And this energy, that's in 1980. And when I looked back in 1980, I was on a backpack trip. I was backpacking from Canada into Australia. And I had planned to go for 4 months, but I got there and I loved it so much. And I had a 9-month visa, so I stayed. And then if I left the country and re-entered, then I could get another 9 months. And it was just like, you could get small jobs working for a few weeks, working at a pub, or, I groomed dogs, so I had a lot of opportunity with that. And I stayed for an extra 9 months. So I was there for a year and a half. While I was there, I saw the Barrier Reef. I got my scuba diving ticket and went diving in the Barrier Reef. And it had a real profound effect on me. On my way home, I stayed in Thailand for a month. I was in Japan. It really started that real love of traveling. And after that, I spent pretty much that decade working 2 or 3 jobs at a time, getting the money together, and then taking off and going on another holiday in another country. And so it just, it really shaped my desire to travel, basically. And then the third year that came up as significant is 1988. And what's interesting, I want to go back to 1980 for a minute. We have all this energy coming in now from Iran and what's happening in Iran. And Gaddafi actually took the country over in about 2000, and it was in 1979. And late in the year of 1979. And it was so it's been all that time that they've been in power, and then all of a sudden all of this is happening at the same time that we have the same energy. Another date was 1988. And for me, that was my last single year. And I was like, by 1990, I was married and I had a small baby. So it was there, this is the significance, and the thing is that the eclipse energy can last about 6 months. And so it's sort of like a slow drip. It's not like usually it can sometimes be a real drastic change, but it's something that changes you over it's there for, that energy is going to be around for about 6 months. And so it's a very powerful, life-changing, it can have a significant impact on the direction that your life takes. Well, here's my cat, Stella. She just realized, I'm doing a reading without her. Are you insulted? Yeah, her job is to purr. So she's like, what? You started without me? We're almost halfway through, Stella. We're more than halfway through. So that's the kind of energy. Take a look in your own life and see. And in the comment box below, let me know if you had any significant changes in your life in any of those years, looking back. Because it's so interesting with the energy out there now, that those dates also came up to be so significant about what's going on now. All right, so we're going to clarify here. We've got the High Priestess energy, clarifying the King of Swords. So this is talking, especially when the moons come in, we're highly intuitive, and the High Priestess is talking about using your intuition and having very strong intuition. And she does follow the cycles of the moon. And we have this energy of anger. Yeah, so not only are you disappointed, you're angry. And so about what happened here in your relationship. And the thing is, you have, you probably have every right to be angry, and it's good to feel it, but then let it go, because anger is a gift that keeps on giving. And the thing about anger is it makes you acidic, and it gets passed on from one generation down to the next. And quite often, like, you'll see families that are, they're not speaking to another side of the family or whatever because of something someone did like 30 years ago. But no one really knows what it is anymore, but we're just supposed to be angry with each other. It's that kind of energy. We have denial coming in here. So denial is a tactic. What I don't know won't hurt me. Here we have it right on the shift disturber. That energy, of someone stepping out, and what you don't know did hurt you, but you'll recover. We have dissension. So dissension is talking about with friends like this who needs enemies. So that's that energy there. This energy is talking about the third party. Could have been someone that was in your inner circle, or it could mean that a lot of the people that were in that were close to you in your inner circle knew that this was happening and they didn't tell you. This energy, the Virgo energy, is representing the moon coming up. So the Virgo energy is talking about Mercury in that retrograde. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and it's talking about having strong communication. And remember, that's the moon. The full moon is in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is really very much about analytical critique. The danger with Virgo energy is analytical critique can turn into anal criticism very easily, because it's a fine line. Virgos have a tendency to be hard on themselves that way, and so they don't really recognize when they do it to others, and others really don't enjoy it. And I'll probably sometimes I'll get really, it's annoying. And so the Hangman comes in, and this is talking about having the balance of having balance in your life. And the Hangman goes to the tree of knowledge and hangs there upside down so that he can get a better perspective. And then when he has the information he needs, his aura around his head lights up, and then he implements that. When he comes down, he implements the actions that he got through meditation. We have the Hermit coming in here, and the Hermit is talking about safe travels. And it's on this, so if you stay on your destined path, the energy is talking about being close to God. And so very much like the Hangman energy, if you've been in a dark night of the soul, like when you're in this really, heavy energy here, and you don't have all the answers and you're feeling really sad and frustrated, the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain and to be isolated for a while, and confers with God, with the Most High, to decide, okay, now what do I do? And when his lantern is full of the light of the North Star, which is the guiding star, that you're in your North Node, then he comes down from the mountain and implements it, much like this is a longer period of time than this, though. And then we have the falling star. So falling star represents love, and this is a reward. So I feel like God is rewarding you with this pentacle, and maybe the one thing that you're missing in your life is feeling this safety of being able to trust your partner. So perhaps there's another partner once you heal from this. It's saying that you have the ability, falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So it's up to you to decide, like, if you want love in your life, that you're going to need to forgive some of this energy. Forgiving doesn't mean that you forgive the action. You don't even have to tell the person. You can just forgive someone. It's for yourself, so that you let go of the energy. Forgiveness is just, it's a gift that you give yourself in many ways, so that the burden of what someone else has done to you is placed back on their shoulders rather than your own. We have the World here is talking about this change. This energy here is going to change. Once you get the truth, and the whole truth is coming in, and you go through, you'll make a decision, and I feel like it's going to be walking away from this relationship, and then that will create a whole new world for you. And it's talking then, sorry about that, my cat is being a real pain in the butt. Quit it, Stella. She's knocking the camera and knocking the chair. I'm just going to move this chair away from the table. For such a little cat, she sure does a lot of jiggling of the camera. Yeah, so this is, getting neutral to the energy so that you can move forward. And this is the end of a cycle of being breadcrumbed in your love life. This is talking about using your third eye, that chakra, and so that you have your insight, and using your insight as well as your logic. Like here, we have the dissemination of information. And so that's like when you're standing there and everybody knows, like it's kind of a situation where everybody knows what's going on because there's been all this gossip, except for you kind of energy. And there's an elephant in the room and you can feel it, but you don't know exactly what it's about. And you eventually, like, you're going to have to say, yeah, there is an elephant in the room and I need to address it. Here is another, like, this is representing the transition from when you let this go and you face this elephant, then you're able to, that's when you're able to move into this new cycle, this new energy, and it's a transition. And you're able to have like a different, wow, what a pain. I'm so sorry. Quit doing that, Stella. It's annoying. She wants me to feed her. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. You can never get it. I could lock her in the bedroom, but she would yowl because she feels like, oh, now she's being a good girl and the reading's almost over. But like she's got happy feet now, so now she's going to purr. So she'll give us a few minutes of that high vibration energy, hopefully after all the bad energy. All right, so we have intention. So the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So it's talking about just because people have good intentions doesn't mean the outcome is good. And still, you can forgive them, but you don't have to hang out with them anymore. If they've made your life this miserable, it's time to shed, right? And then we have the Gemini energy coming in. So this is talking about, Gemini is the third sign in the zodiac. And so it's kind of kindergarten age. And it's kind of at that age that we realize when we start kindergarten that, hey, other families are different from my family. And, you start seeing children of different cultures in your class. And, their parents are different from your parents. And they're raised differently. And that's when you first start realizing, not everybody lives exactly the way we do. And that's kind of a theme that continues through life. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here. So that's talking about the past, the present, and the future coming together. It's talking about being able to take the energy of what you've learned from this situation and be able to apply it to your life now. So that when you move forward, it's going to be a real strong, energy. And so it's not like when walking away from a relationship you've put 8 cups into is a lot. But at the same time, it's not like if you get into another relationship that you're starting from scratch and you don't know anything about relationships. You have all the knowledge that you've gained here. And you can bring that into your life so that you have a stronger lifestyle. Okay, so I do hope that you have received value from this. Please do give it a like and comment, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. I'd be honored if you did so. I will be back with another reading for around mid-March. Bye for now, Pisces. Oh, come here, kitty. Now.